Let AJ Doman Chevrolet be your one stop for all your business needs in 2025. Whether it's a service body, a flatbed, or a chassis for a custom upfit, we got you covered. And we know time's important, so we have a large selection of work-ready trucks on hand. AJ Doman Chevrolet, servicing the area for over 35 years at the foot of the Morgan City Bridge in Berwick. AJ Doman Chevrolet, your business elite dealer.
Welcome, Acadiana. Happy Mardi Gras. We're here at AJ Doman Chevrolet, where we're here to toast the longest living crew in this area, Hephaestus, crew of Hephaestus, and they're going to come here shortly. But everybody comes here to get together, and we have all the crews, their court, their board of directors. They're here to share the same experience with everyone. So we get everyone together for a wonderful time. And I want to bring you all through. You're going to have a few little clips later that show crew of Hephaestus showing up. We're here to honor them because they are the oldest crew, but you need to enjoy it. We have a good friend of mine, Troy Landry, here cooking some alligator. My father cooked a big old shrimp étouffée. We have people here just enjoying the festivities. Champagne with illusion board, and come party. Mardi Gras time.
So what you got here today?
Well, I cooked some alligator étouffée. It's kind of like an étouffée with a sweet and sour gravy that I love. And then Mr. AJ fixed some shrimp Creole over there. And it's good. We're just about out of alligator and got a little bit of shrimp left. But it's going quick. It's going quick. We're having fun at the Mardi Gras, baby. We're getting warmed up.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
We've been doing this now for probably about 25 years. And we have a master of ceremonies today. His name is Emil Bavin. Emil started this almost 40 years ago. And so it's a tribute to Emil that he works with me now, that he gets to come in and be master of ceremonies of something he started 40 years ago. So this is really a great experience. And there's going to be a lot of emotion because people are happy to have him back because he was such an integral part of this community. Now, AJ Doman Chevrolet loves Mardi Gras. We pull for pretty much every parade, whether it's all the floats or most of them. That's what we do. For the 4 or 5 crews that are local here, we do it all. We pull 13, 14, 15 floats per parade, and we do it out of the kindness of our heart because we love Mardi Gras. The Domans are embedded in it, and we will always be there for Mardi Gras. When Hephaestus gets here, we're going to do a Mardi Gras parade all the way around. The music's going to be loud. It's going to be very joyous and very fun. And then everyone will do their little sayings, introduce all their court members, all their board members, and it's just a way to bring everyone together for one function that is really great for the community. Almost 40 years ago, he started this in his backyard, okay? And Emil moved out of town, so we took over gladly. And fortunate enough, Emil came to work for me. So now, 40 years later, Emil gets to be the master of ceremonies again. Yeah. So I want y'all to welcome Emil, but first of all, Hera is on a time schedule. We have to get them out real fast. So we're gonna toast them, and then we're gonna party a little bit, and then we'll get together with everyone else. But Emil,
Could we have Miss Stacy?
take the floor.
Miss Stacy Simmons? Stacy? Would you introduce the royalty?
All right, y'all. This year, Hera took it outdoors and explored America's beautiful national parks. We have our court over there, and we have our queen, Miss Stacy Landry. Our king, Mr. Tillman Simmons. We also have our beautiful captain, Miss Catherine Broussard, who was Old Faithful. We have Maid Lynette Penison and Duke Mark Griffin, who were in Hawaii's Volcano National Park.
I could drink it.
Maid Caleb Balgu and Duke Scott Berry representing the Everglades. We also have Maid Rachel Malincrot and Duke Tony Bria representing and last but not least, Maid Peggy Falker and Duke Paul Landry representing. Everyone here rolls tonight at 7. We have some special guests that are going to be there tonight. Can't wait to see everyone's faces on the parade ground. We're rolling out so we can go get this party started tonight.
First, I would like to join with me to extend a big Mardi Gras thank you for A.J. Doman Chevrolet for putting this all together. Thank you. A.J., Sandra, thank you so much for your generosity and your hospitality. And Joy, wherever Joy's at, thank you.
Randy?
Yeah, Joy. And for the man behind the scenes who puts all this together. He's the one that makes this work, Mr. Randy Doman.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your health is our legacy. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bork, know your rights.
I understand we need to get Adonis rolling. Right behind you. Oh, hey, Mr. Keith Leonard.
Once again, welcome and thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Doman, for doing everything that you do for Mardi Gras and bringing the Krewes together and keeping Emil's tradition going on. Adonis celebrated its 50th year this year, and we did a little bit of classic rock and roll and fashion mixed together, where our Dukes represented the legends of rock and roll, and our maids the typical fashion of the rock and roll era, which played a vital part. Our maids and Dukes that served in our court were Mr. Jason Ruff and his wife, Miss Robin Ruff, I'm sorry. And I got it right here. We also had Mr. Philip Nakan and Miss Emily Smith, Mr. Kane Leonard and Miss Megan Leonard, Mr. Craig Mayon and Miss Regina Wheeler. Pages to the King were Cohen Leonard and Logan Nakan. Pages to the Queen were Miss Emma Delahousie and Sophia Hudson. Our Queen, Adonis the 50th, was a lovely Miss Rachel Smith. Hail to the Queen. Our King 50th, for our 50th year, was my son, Colin Leonard. Hail to the King. And of course, I served as the captain, and we'd like to thank you and hope you all have a great Mardi Gras season and a Mardi Gras ride tonight, Hera. We wish you the best.
Thank you, Keith. Look, real briefly, 30 years ago, in excess of 30 years ago, Dr. Jim Contupus was king of Hephaestus. He called me and my wife, and he said, we'd like to come by your house and have a toast. We had about a dozen people there. Well, it grew, and it grew, and it grew. Sometimes we had 300 people in and out of that house. But the main thing which developed out of it, which a lot of you might not know and appreciate, it's the only time that all of the royalty, all of the Krewes of East St. Mary are represented under one roof. It's an astonishment that we are all here in brotherhood and fellowship. You are the heart and soul of this community. You make it work. You work hard, and when it comes to play, You wrote the book. You know how to party. For the crew of Nike. Oh, here we go. All right.
Hey, give it a microphone.
Mr. Cephalou.
Thank you guys so much for having us. I've been given the distinct honor of representing the crew of Nike here this evening. A little louder. And the crew of Nike's theme this year was A Bug's Life. So introducing our captain, the Tree of Life, Grayson Montgomery, son of Mr. and Mrs. Joshua Montgomery. King 53 of Nike, the Red Hornet, Braden Mayon, son of Mr. and Mrs. Darren Mayon. And I'll take special privilege here, my princess, every day, all day, but now my queen, the Queen Nike 53, the Queen Bee, Ellis Marie Cephalou, daughter of Doctors William and Abby Cephalou. And thank you to the Domain family for your perpetual hospitality and support of Mardi Gras. We love you, and happy Mardi Gras to all.
And how about from the crew of Hannibal, Mr. Sean Darver.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? So this year, we celebrated 45 years as the crew of Hannibal. Our theme was the Symphony of the Seas. With everything that we amassed this year, we were fortunate enough to celebrate an outstanding king and a show-stopping queen. Our queen represented the Queen Amphitrite, Mrs. Katasha Willis Brown. And our king undoubtedly was, amazing, the King Mark Dixon. Fortunate enough with us today, we have a few of our court members. We have our maid one, Mrs. Kana Boyd. We also have maid two with us, Miss Acacia Henry. Once again, thank you so much to the Domans for having us. Unfortunately, a lot of our crew couldn't make it here today, but thank you guys so much for having us. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, Sean. Thank you. Yeah. And from the illustrious crew of Galatea, Michelle Picou.
We started with our stars who represented the constellations of our crew. In with our board was our astronauts and aliens. And then we went on to our parade lieutenant, who was the moon, and myself as captain was the nebula. The theme of our court was actually cosmic occurrences. For our first couple representing the meteor shower and Mercury is Dr. Casey Meyer and Mr. Jonathan Miller. Our second couple representing the solar flare and Mars, Miss Mary Michelle Reggie and Mr. Jeremy Landry. Our third court couple representing the asteroid belt and Jupiter, is Miss Krista Jeremy and Mr. Scott Emanuel. Our fourth couple representing the Great Comet and Saturn is Miss Rosalind Brown and Mr. Michael Storns. And a cosmic occurrence could not happen with our astronomer to see all of those observance of the night. Representing the astronomer was our king, Mr. Wayne Mayon. And the most beautiful occurrence in the sky was the Aurora Borealis, which is what our queen represents, Miss Angela Kramer.
And now, from the great crew of Dionysus, Mr. Dale Tompkins.
First of all, I want to thank Mr. and Mrs. Dolman for the hospitality. This year is our 46th year with Dionysus. It was a vampire tour through time. We had our first maid and Duke, Mr. and Mrs. Roy Blanco. Yeah. Our second maid and Duke, who aren't here, was Anna and Ryan Scott. Yeah. Third was Kiani Verdon and Seth Hebert. Both were out today, sorry. Yeah. Fourth was Kelly Jo Okwe and Roy Martin, Kelly Jo. Yeah. And our captain was Destiny Barlow. Yeah. And our king and queen who aren't here, they had a trip planned for New York already, Mr. Larry Hotard and Miss Tina LeBlanc. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out and everybody for their hospitality. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Dale. Thank you.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough.
Now the oldest and greatest, well, the oldest crew. I don't want to be prejudiced. I was a member a while. I'm getting the bug again. I think I'm going to join. And now from the illustrious crew of Festus, Miss Valerie LeBlanc. Here we go.
Thanks, Mr. Emile. You know, it's a funny story that in 1991, I was allowed to be queen of this crew, and I walked up that red carpet full of empty champagne bottles into Mr. Emile and Miss Wanda's house, and it was an experience, and I'm just so grateful for all the history. Thank you. And for the Domans, for keeping it going every year, thank you so very much. This year, the crew of Festus celebrated 65 wonderful years with our theme, Realms Beyond Reality. Serving as our captain this year, the enchantress was Miss Michelle Giordana O'Quin. Our King Hephaestus 65 was Mr. John B. Hover. And Queen 65 was Miss Lucy Ann Hamer. Now we're going to hear a few words from our captain, king, and queen.
Right. I did not okay, sorry. Loud. I did not expect to be on TV tonight. No.
This doesn't magnify.
Okay, I'm not that loud, but I'm going to try. All I want to say is I had a beautiful court, beautiful king and queen. Love everything. We had a blast Saturday night. So we're going to have a blast tomorrow because there's going to be no rain. I want to thank the Domans for having us every year. It's fabulous. That's all I can say. We enjoy it. Thank you again. And all the crews, thank y'all for coming out. It's a great community, and I hope we can keep this going. Happy Mardi Gras.
Happy Mardi Gras. John? Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Let me begin by saying to the Domans, I mean, this is phenomenal. You look at all the flags represented here. There's 7 different flags represented here, and so that's when you really feel the community. It just I get the goosebumps just looking around the room. And so again, thank y'all to the Domans for continuing on with this tradition. And so I must say to everyone else, the board, my wife, my beautiful wife, stressed beautiful, you know. But again, to everyone, to the board of Hephaestus, again, my queen, my captain, everybody, yes, thank you. My crew. Oh, look, cheers. I would really like to take this over, but I'm going to say, hey, happy Mardi Gras, bitches! Sorry.
Yeah. Valerie is going to introduce the court for Festus.
I'm actually going to allow Kim Hernandez and Lisa Ratcliffe to introduce the court. It doesn't magnify. It doesn't magnify.
Okay, we had 6 realms for our court. The first realm was Oz, and it was represented by the Feuras, Mr. David Fura and his daughter, Charlie Ann Fura. The second realm was Pandora, and we had Miss Sarah Ratke and Mr. Josh Sanford. The third one was Neverland, and we had Mr. Darren Robichaux, and we had Miss Brooklyn Dewey. Oh my gosh. Darren. Okay, then we had our fourth was Narnia. We had Mr. Petey Wade and Miss Sophia Salimi. Cheers. Our fifth was Hogwarts. We had Mr. Chad Ross and his maid, Miss Victoria Kirkpatrick. And last but not least was Styros, which was Game of Thrones, Mr. Will Lucan and Miss Gigi Lucan. Happy Mardi Gras.
Nobody wants to touch it.
Introduce our children.
Sure.
Okay, this year we had 8 beautiful children in our court, but we only have 1 in presence today. This is Miss Charlotte. Oh, thank you. Sorry. This is Miss Charlotte Gatung, a daughter of Mr. Simon and Taylor Gatung. She was beautiful. Thank you.
Give us some champagne.
Okay, I think that's it. AJ or Randy, anybody want to say anything? Huh? Who I'm forget? The Queen. Oh, okay. But the Queen, would you like to say anything, sweetheart? Okay. The Queen of Augustus.
I just want everyone to have a good time and happy Mardi Gras.
Sure, babe.
For anybody that was able to see our show on Saturday night, we had a kind of a special event, and I'd like to thank the man who was responsible. Mr. Lee Romare, will you come up here? It was fantastic. So thank you, Lee, for everything. Thank you. No, you don't have to talk.
He's like, no.
All right, guys. That's it for right now. Have a great rest of the evening. C'est le bon temps roulé!
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. CIS, Cardiovascular Institute of the South, the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality.